Well, hi Matt. Let's take a look at your golf swing. First, I want to thank you for sending it in, and I know we can help you a lot because there's a lot about your golf swing that I really like. Um, in your email, you told me that that you tend to hook it low and right. You're standing to the other side of the ball. Let's say you're a lefty, and so you tend to hook the ball, and that's due to a few things. But all in all, you have a really good golf swing. I really like a lot of what I see, and there's a lot that can be fixed just in your setup, just in the way you address the ball. Let's look at your swing a couple times in slow motion, and and you actually get into your address position now, and watch. I want you to watch how you sort of creep forward, like it goes forward and forward and forward, even a little bit more, and then forward a little bit more and forward a little bit more. So then that's when you get to a point where you feel like you're comfortable, and then you take it back. Bam. So I'm loving that finish. I love that your weight is completely onto your right side, nice solid right side. We're going to look at it again here. I see you start off there, looks pretty good, but then you creep it forward a bit, creeping forward, creeping forward, creeping forward, creeping forward, creeping forward, creeping forward. And a lot of that might have to do with the fact that you are in your backyard and you're not actually addressing a golf ball. But I got a feeling that that's kind of normal for you. You tend to make tiny little adjustments after you actually address the ball. Now let's go back and look at that a little bit more, that address position, and I'm going to draw a couple of lines. Let's go to the first one. Where are we? There we go. Right in the middle of the swing there, and then there. So we're addressing. Let's go back to the beginning. There we go. So you start off there. This would actually be more of a position where you would want to be in, even though with a driver, yes, we want to hit it with the modern day drivers. We want to kind of hit it on the upswing. That's what they're designed for. So you want to have the lower arc or bottom fulcrum of your swing is behind the ball. And yours is actually in front of the ball. We'll get to that in a minute. So here's basically, I feel like you're almost set here. Okay, so let's draw a couple of lines. The first thing I would like to do, and unfortunately, I want you to look at that grip, and that it's your left hand, your bottom hand. We'll check it out later in the swing as on your downswing. Where we get a better look at it, but I feel like there's a whole lot of your right hand. I feel like it's hard to see, but it looks like you have a 10-finger grip. 5 fingers of your left hand are on the club, and that's okay. That's completely kosher. However, I think that it's a little bit too far underneath the club, meaning that way, underneath the club. You might want to bring that over that way a bit, and that might help. But that's going to be something that you're going to want to have a hands-on professional as opposed to an online professional take a look at. But there's a lot of really good grip information out there on YouTube as well. I like the width of your stance. I love that it's just slightly wider than your shoulders. I also well, actually, let's get to where this is where I feel like you want to be set up, but then you start creeping forward, and watch where, let's go back just a hair to where you first put the club down, right there. So I'm going to put a little mark there, and then we're going to scroll forward. There we go. It's pretty much still there. We're going to scroll forward, and we'll see how much further forward your club head actually creeps. But I want you to watch that your hands creep forward as well. There it goes once, and it might even go again. Yeah, you make a little more adjustment. I'm scrolling. And watch as your hands creep forward even more. And okay, good. So we're right there. So I guess it's not the club head so much as it is your hand. So let's draw a line here and see from where we were to where we are now. That line, this is almost a straight line down from your shoulder, and we'd like that back just a little bit more like to there. It's not a huge adjustment, but it's going to make a big difference in what we're talking on later on. Because I feel like now your spine, instead of, let me explain it this way. Your left hand is lower than your right hand, correct? So this left hand is lower than your right hand. So of course your left shoulder is going to be lower than your right shoulder. So if you had a more neutral stance, more neutral setup, so to speak, your spine angle would actually be there. So if I were to draw a line from your belt buckle straight up, right here, that's actually a little bit left of your belt buckle, but you're way in front of that. Let me do one more. Yeah, it's the ice cream guy out front. You can hear him honking. So your head is actually in front of your belt buckle, and it really should be more behind of your belt buckle, because that is going to give you some more distance. And I know that's something you talked about in your email. But also, it's really hard to keep your head behind the ball if you have to move it that way and then move it back that way again. It's hard to find that solid right side for you. I notice right before impact, your right knee kind of breaks down. So let's take you through a little bit more and see what I'm talking about. I'm going to draw a line of where your spine angle actually is now, and then you're making almost a straight line here that I would like to see more there, especially if your spine angle was there. Let me do that again. So let's get some clean lines on here. Spine angle, which we'd like to see tilted to your left a bit more. Well, let's take you through the swing. Nice long takeaway there. I love your extension away from the ball there. That's terrific, fantastic. Not a lot of hip rotation yet. You're nice and young, so you've got this terrific. You've barely rotated your hips, and you've got a full shoulder turn. Your turn is behind where your ball would have been. That looks to me way forward, but that's actually where your club head pretty much was, and you're about parallel with your club. That's not quite the right line, but you see what I'm getting at. Now let's continue through that, and your hips initiate the downswing, which is great. You've got a pretty good lag going there, although we could work on that a little bit. But a lot of that has to do with what I was talking about before, your grip. Look at that amount of torque right there that you are creating. Bam! With that. Now I'm going to get rid of these lines so we can see it clearer. And you can actually see your thumb on, like, pushing down the club, pushing down the grip there. And I'd like to see that club actually wrapped over to about a 11 o'clock position, or 1 o'clock, depending on which way you want to look at it. Your right arm is a little bit bent, but that's okay as long as you've got consistent contact. But what you've talked about before is that you don't have consistent contact. And look at the way that your left knee is already broken down, and you haven't gotten to impact yet. You're getting there really fast, and one of the reasons why you're hooking the ball is because you're having to compensate for that. What you're doing is your hips are clearing way fast, and because they're not rotating back very much, but I don't mind that. If you look at Yanni Sen's swing, the #1 woman golfer in the world, she barely rotates her hips on her backswing, very much like yourself, and she also has a terrific shoulder turn just like yourself. I've looked at it from the down the line angle, and you're maintaining your spine angle really well. And so let's take it one frame more. Look at that, one more frame. And so you've got a lot of club head speed built up between here and here. But look where that club head is squaring up. It's way forward that's 6 or 8 inches forward of where your ball position really should be, which is inside of your right heel, your forward heel. Most irons we would play a little further back in your stance, not that far back, but about 2 inches off of your forward heel. And with the driver, you want to play it kind of pretty much, forward toe or forward heel, maybe a little bit further back from that. It depends on your preferences or where you want the ball to go. But that position right there is it looks to me like this is a little bit broken down, and I'd like to see your weight stay back behind the ball a bit more, which initially that setup spine angle tilting away from the target will help a lot with. And the club face being square right there, as opposed to down the line here somewhere. So let's take you through a little bit more and look at this. So you have to kind of break that hip down. You see that hip just broke down, that movement right there. Wow, you're creating a lot of speed right there, and then it kind of breaks down, and you got this really full, beautiful finish. Look at that. There's no reason why you can't play a really long, low running draw right on target with this kind of a golf swing, and a lot of that's just going to be set up and ball position. So if we can get your setup to be more here and here, and then your spine angle to be a little bit behind the ball, as opposed to what you're doing now, which is here and there, and you're forward. Most of your weight is on the front foot. I'd like to see your weight a little bit more equal between your feet, and with the spine angle tilting a little bit to the right. I want to say maybe even 60-40 back foot to front foot. 60% of your weight on your back foot, 40% on your front foot at address, if not equal. Right now it looks like you've got about 70 to 80% of your weight on your front or your right foot. So those are some things to work on. Let's take you through it a couple times. Let's look at the first one. Yeah, boom. That was fast, wasn't it? Let's actually just look at it regular time. The second version of this swing. Let's look at it regular time. Like I said, Matt, see, now that's a good setup right there. But then you scoot forward, you scoot forward again, scoot forward again, scoot forward again, to get to a position where it's really going to be really hard to hit the ball. Bam. And that was a better swing right there, the second one. So I really want you to focus on consistency in your setup. Let's get to back to that position where we looked at it and we said we said we liked it. That's scooting forward, but that is back. See that? Look at that. Your spine angle this time is behind your belt buckle. Your head, the tip of your hat is behind your belt buckle. Behind meaning away from the target. So this is a much more athletic and a stronger position. And look at how that is coming straight down there, pretty much straight. There's a little bit of a break there, but it's really negligible. So all in all, like I said, Matt, this is a really great golf swing, and I don't see any reason why you can't be shooting in the low 70s, even in the 60s, with the I can tell how do I say it, the passion you have for it just from your email alone. Remember, you told me that you would like your golf swing is not where you want it to be, and just remember that Tiger Woods in 1999 won the Masters by 12 strokes and then promptly changed his golf swing. So that speaks a lot. None of us are happy with our golf swing, and we always want it to be better, but that's a good thing. If it wasn't that way, we wouldn't be playing the game. It's a hard game, and give yourself a lot of credit, Matt. And we'll take a look at your down the line swing as well, and please make some adjustments and send me your swing again, because looking forward to seeing your progress. Thanks again, Matt.